Rangers are certainly not in the most secure financial state. We couldn't even sack a manager after he lost to a Scottish Championship side because it was too expensive to pay him off. Fortunately, that has been resolved. However, regarding our financial situation, nothing has improved. In today's video, we have some worrying news as Rangers have made a poor financial move, which has been regarded as not a good sign. We will look into this in today's video, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Rangers interim boss Barry Ferguson may have enjoyed a winning start in his new role, but pundits are already sounding the alarm about the struggles that plagued Philippe Clement's tenure reoccurring. After a tense encounter at Rugby Park, where Rangers had to fight back from a 2-0 deficit to secure a 4-2 victory over Kilmarnock, former SPFL midfielder Stephen McGinn warned that these players may not have the resilience needed to maintain consistency until the end of the season. Ferguson, who previously captained Rangers as player, got the response he asked for given his side's disastrous opening 30 minutes before he made the bold call to hook young defender Clinton Anziala from the action. The one-time AC Milan kid was consistently overwhelmed by the Kilmarnock attack at every opportunity, and this defensive vulnerability from a whole magnitude of players has been a recurring issue throughout the league campaign, particularly during Rangers away games. And even though their forward players helped dig them out of what would have been another underwhelming result and reduce Celtic's Scottish Premiership lead to 13 points again, McGinn thinks there's a long way to go until the Ibrox club eradicate their rash domestic form. This current group of players, I think, will let Barry down at some point between now and the end of the season, he suggested on the Go Radio Football show. He'll be sitting there with the best will in the world and say that's one ticked off, a real hard one. But this is a side that, for all the credit they got for the 3-0 Celtic game and a team that qualified for the next stage of the Europa League, that was their one win in 5 games domestically. This is a side that's just went down to Rugby Park and scored 4, went to Tynecastle and scored 3, but in the same period don't score at home to Queen's Park and lose, don't score at home to St Mirren and lose. For a new manager, as much as it was be great to take him into the summer and see what he needs, I think this group of players will have another bad one. It's round the corner, we don't know when, but it will be another bad one. I think Barry recognised that on Wednesday night with the early sub. He said he made minor tweaks to it, but he named the same team that played against St Mirren and had to change it after half an hour. One or two are really going to have to step up. That's why I think maybe a Leon King might get a chance, because he has to find 11 or 12 that can group together and not have that disaster between now and the summer. Now in some big Rangers news, Rangers have made a worrying financial decision, as Rangers fans are beginning to dream of a potential buyout that could change the fortunes of their beloved club, especially after several years spent in the shadow of fierce rival Celtic. A glimmer of hope has emerged as takeover interest from 49ers Enterprises, the investment group that owns Leeds United, has been reported. The possibility of this American-backed ownership has fans wondering if it could be the catalyst for a resurgence in the club's ambitions, both domestically and on the European stage. In the meantime, Rangers have received a financial boost from their current ownership, with it being revealed on the 19th of February that the club has secured a £3.6 million injection through a new share issue. This move, though not unprecedented, has raised eyebrows due to the club's financial position. Rangers have made similar cash injections in recent years, most notably reporting a substantial £17.2 million loss for the 2023-24 season last October. While this financial support could appear to be a necessary step in maintaining stability, some are expressing concerns. Keith Winnes, the former CEO of Aberdeen, Everton and Aston Villa, has provided his own perspective on the situation. Wines, now a football consultant advising top clubs, shared his insight, offering a more cautious take on the recent developments at Ibrox. Winnes described the £3.6 million share issue as petty cash in the larger context of Rangers operations, but suggested it could be indicative of deeper issues. It's a pretty worrying sign, he explained. He emphasized that, with the transfer window already closed, it's unclear what specific financial pressures the club might be facing that would require this kind of capital injection. Winnie speculated that it could point to cash flow issues, a troubling sign for a club of Rangers' stature, especially at a time when they are trying to stay competitive both in the Scottish Premiership, where they currently sit second, and in the Europa League, where they are set to face Fenerbahce in the round of 16. Despite these concerns, Winnes acknowledged the potential significance of the ongoing takeover discussions involving 49ers Enterprises. He noted that any involvement from such a well-resourced group could represent a major turning point for Rangers, especially if they can leverage their connections to transform the club's financial and sporting prospects. Rangers are poised, Weinz remarked, expressing his anticipation for how the situation will unfold in the coming months. For Rangers fans, the prospect of new ownership represents a tantalizing opportunity for renewed success. However, the injection of funds through a share issue, combined with the uncertainty surrounding the club's cash flow, adds a layer of complexity to their dreams of a brighter future. As they await developments, it remains to be seen whether the 49ers' interest will materialise into the kind of transformative buyout that could help Rangers close the gap with Celtic and reclaim their place at the pinnacle of Scottish football. What do you make of this? Let me know down below. Before we get into the next story, if you are enjoying today's video, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Thank you, let's get back into the video. In other news, Rangers striker Cyril Dessers has broken his silence on Philippe Clement's Ibrox sacking. The Belgian departed his post as manager on Sunday following a calamitous 2-0 loss at home to St Mirren. The defeat to the Paisley side was the final nail in the coffin for Clement, who struggled to maintain consistency in performances and results throughout the season. Speaking after Rangers' 4-2 comeback victory over Kilmarnock last night, centre-forward Dessers reacted to the departure of his old manager. "It's always tough," he said. "People talk a lot about football, but we also see the human side, and that's really tough and emotional for everybody in the building. But then 48 hours later, you have an important game, and you have to get your head back in it and find your feet." Dessers came up trumps for his team last night. The Nigerian striker drew Rangers level with a close-range finish before putting them 3-2 in front not long after with a fine strike into the bottom corner. The 30-year-old, who is often much maligned, is now up to 20 goals in 41 Rangers appearances this season. Interim head coach Barry Ferguson, who was appointed to his post on Monday, was full of praise for Dessers after Wednesday's game. "I thought Cyril led the line really well," he said. "It's just me. Listen, I've got high standards. And I think sometimes I look and the players are thinking, God, what have we got here on the sidelines? But listen, that's what it's all about. And I thought he was excellent. And listen, I got a response. They responded to me. I got a reaction from them. And listen, one thing I've always said about Cyril is he gives you everything he's got. And I thought tonight he was excellent." Dessers played excellent against Kilmarnock on Wednesday and truly showed how good and important he can be for the club. Hopefully under new management he can find some consistent form, because on his day he is an incredibly solid forward option. Technically he has a lot of ability, just sometimes he lacks that composure and conviction in front of goal. But let me know your thoughts on his comments and his performance down below. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.